Back again with another video, and this time, my heart, my heart, my heart, my heart. Yeah, hockey's been a great part of my life for the past, I'd say, for the past since I was 14, nearly 10 years now, and the time has come for me to leave it behind. Hopefully, not for good, but right now, God said, I have to lay the stick down and hang up the bag. I have to hang up that stick now. For now. Hopefully for now. But I just want to start back at the beginning because hockey's really had my heart and I just want to fully express myself and fully let it come out. So where I started hockey was it's not unconventional. It came from a forced position because I started at Moulton High, as some of you know. Yeah, that was 2017. That was the start of everything. Started out like I started high school, and we couldn't do. I grew up loving football, football fanatic through and through, still to this day, even though I've been playing hockey, right? So once you play football, when I entered high school, they told us no, you can only play football when you grade 10. I was like, okay. Then I was like, I'm not gonna play rugby. Me, rugby. Anyway, so I was like, let me do hockey. Something. I had friends that already played it in primary school, so I was like, let me try it out. And that season was a great season because we only actually lost one game, and I had the privilege of being the captain that season. So it really was a great season, and there was a speech that I made, an unprepared speech. Um, this is a moment of vulnerability. Um, Unprepared speech. I didn't know what to say at the time because obviously unprepared speech threw it on me. My teacher just picked me like I was probably I think I was the third or fourth person to go, and she was like, "You, what do you want to be one day, or what is something that you want to achieve?" I froze. I genuinely froze in the moment, like froze. I was like, and I even looked at my friend next to me. I was like, "What am I gonna say, bro? What am I gonna say?" And I just sat there while listening to the other person. I was like, "Yo." Even when it was my time to speak, I was like, as I'm standing up, I'm like, I don't know what I'm gonna say. I don't know what I'm gonna say. Then something popped into my mind, like I just started hockey, and hockey is not such a big sport in South Africa. So I was like, let me speak on that. So I was like, I want to be the captain of the national team. It came from a good place. What I think, what I think. But anyway, I made a whole speech about it. I spoke like, if you know the South African hockey climate, there's no professional, there's no professional league. There's no like you can't be a professional. Um, I didn't know that you couldn't be a professional back then, but I knew that there wasn't a professional league, and it's not a big sport in South Africa. So I spoke and how amazing I could be, um, like to lead the nation and potentially get something like hockey up and running like as a proper sport in South Africa. That was my whole speech and that was my vision. You know, like I played the rest of the season. At the end of the season, I was like, I actually did well quite as a captain for the first time. I've never led any team in my life because in primary school, yeah, people made fun of me. I was bullied and all these things. But in high school now, I'm stepping in, and whoa, I wasn't popular, never popular. I've never been a popular person, but was actually doing quite well. My coaches were happy with me. I was in a team with my friends. Everything was looking up. And the under 16A coach already was watching one of our games and he was like, I did one. I was like, whoa, okay, I might be cooking next season. So the season ended, enjoyed the rest of grade 8, not because that time of my life was also mad, and it actually hockey was the thing that made me forget how painful life was during high school. That's what I mean. It's quite a vulnerable spot in my life. But anyway, finished grade 8, got into grade 9, and I made it into under 16 18, to the under 16 18. I think I was the only one from the under 14 Bs that made it to the under 16 18. And I was center back at that time. Still played at the back. And the first few games, he didn't coach us because he had somewhere to be, but we did well, did all sorts of stuff, and then we did good. Like I didn't play the full season because I had some bad teammates, like egos. Yo, that was I left. I left hockey halfway through the season. It wasn't the coach. The coach had his own problems, but in terms of why I left, was my teammates. It's high school, teenagers. I was a teenager too, so. But the egos, oh my days, no. I like, nah, I'm leaving. And I also found out during that time. I also found out during that time that I can actually join football because there were a couple of grade nines that were playing football. So I was like, I spoke to my one friend that was in grade 10 and he came through and then he introduced me to the football coach and then I was like, okay. And he asked me then I joined the team. And that really boosted my fitness. Like the fitness shifts from hockey to football, people underestimate it. And I even told my friends, like, I eventually went back to hockey, but during the 6 months from June, that was June 2018, till about, it was more than 6 months, till about February 2019. Yes, there were school holidays in between and all of that, but my fitness level was on a different level compared to the kids that were playing hockey. Because once I came back, a hockey game didn't feel like anything. It genuinely didn't feel like anything, and my tactical IQ, like reading the game, everything just was elevated as a player, and it helped me also read hockey well because the tactics are quite similar in terms of the two sports. So I could read like plays, like I know this person's going to do this and this, and if I see a run being made, I already know that I need to track it. Otherwise, they're going to make a pass there. So I learned a lot in football, and the coaches that we had were quite good. Um, then from June onwards, June 2019, so that was grade 9, then grade 10, halfway through grade 10, one of my friends were busy telling me that there was a shortage in the under 16 B team. Yes, I was playing for the under 16 A team, but I was like, they changed coach, they had a proper team. So I was like, nah. And the teammates that were there in the previous year, most of them had gone up to the first team. And then some of them were left over. But I was like, nah, let me just go and play for the B team because I'm already playing football and I don't want to put too much priority on hockey. So I went into the B team. I forgot my time, but anyway, went into the under 16 B team, did my thing there, and I was captain there again, through some weird events, but they're not necessarily weird, but it just, I got the captain's armband from a best friend, so yeah, that was a bit sticky. So I didn't take anything. It was given to me. So yeah, played both sports, did well. Um, then we moved into grade 11, 2020. If you know what happened in 2020, you know what happened in 2020. Like, we're in the second team now. Like, we have great expectations for the year because the first team is full. Yeah, because there was a huge talent gap between the first team and the second team in terms of playing experience, because most of the players that were in the first team, some of the players that I played with in under 16, they also play outside hockey. So they have skill, like the skill gap was like a bit too big. So my friends and a couple, like, we all gel together in the second team. Like, we already, most of us were friends. We knew each other well because we were all in the same grade. And we're like, nah, this team is gonna be on fire, bro. Forget the result, just vibes. We just wanna be here for vibes today. And the first two games that we played, not we weren't Barcelona type, but especially the second game we played. I think we drew our first game, but the second game we played, we were phenomenal. And the vibes were just, everything was just clicking. And then we were preparing for the season, and then COVID came along and just shut it down. Lockdown, bro. And yeah, lockdown was lockdown. And there was a lot of things that actually happened in lockdown for me personally, but that is actually another video. So lockdown happened, and then we came back indoor hockey. I came back, did external indoor hockey. So I was I ran into a club, and then I ran into the first team at one of my indoor tournaments, because I didn't even know that the first team had, like, the hockey head at the time, and the first team coach, and the hockey manager, and the first team hockey manager had organized the team from the players that are in the school. Most of them, most of the first team were in matric at the time, so they were writing. They couldn't do external sports, so they put a makeshift squad of the people that they know, like the best players that they knew from around the school. And I obviously wasn't selected in that because at the time I was just flopping around, and I was in the second team and all of that. But then I went into um, indoor hockey, and then I ran into them, and then I played against them, and then were asking me like, how did you, I asked them how did they get, like, I didn't even know. And then one of them told me, oh, this is, I was like, okay, cool. Then I kept running to the first team coach. So I played at another clinic, and he was running that one with a couple of first team players too, and some other players from other schools that were also in the Premier League in terms of high school hockey. And it was just, the skill level at that clinic was quite high. And then I think it was a week or two after that, I got invited into high performance training. I would call it the first team before the first team was officially the first team. So I was invited, and basically, yeah, it was the first team before it was officially named the first team. And during that time, we had trials, and we also, like, as a team, we clicked, we gelled, like, we were all cool with each other. There were not that many egos. There was one or two here and there, but in general, we were actually quite a cool team to gel together. And also, our coach was a very chill person, so it really helped. And as much as I'm reserved, I could, like, relate, talk to the kids that are like in grade 10, because there were a few grade 10s playing with us. But it was all good. And then lockdown came again because it's 2021. 2021 was my matric year. 21 came, and I was like, yo, like it ruined our seasons, just like it did in 2020. It ruined our season because we played a few league games, we played a derby day. We just couldn't get into the flow of things. So COVID happened, and that very same year, I had started playing hockey at Monster Hockey Club, and I was playing in the lowest team there, and I was enjoying hockey there too because I missed a few people from other schools, and I was playing with the chairman. He wasn't the chairman at the time, but the chairman and a few board members at the time. They weren't board. Yeah, I think they were board members at the time, but he wasn't. Yeah, SK wasn't the chairman at the time. But we were all playing together, and it was vibes. We weren't winning. Sometimes people won't commit, but I genuinely enjoyed it. Um, I finished my time at school, matric, passed, shady pass at that, but that's story for another day. Um, I got through to the club for the second season, and then it was I was bummed out that I didn't get a higher like trial um, spot like into maybe the fourth team, but the fourth team was playing at a high league at the time also, and the team that was there, they actually like the talent pool at the club at that time was quite high, like its skill level, it was really high. And most of the players that are above me like have been playing hockey for plus either they playing hockey for plus 10 years, like they started as kids, or they were playing hockey externally. And I wasn't a person that played hockey externally outside the school, except for when I played the indoor um, tournaments in grade 11, and the first like my first season at the club during matric. Those were the only times. Yeah, those were the only times that I played outside of school. Ever actually, I did something outside of school, and so everyone, like basically everyone that was in hockey in the club, had a massive head start ahead of me, and so I understood, and I tried to make the best of it again. Like I still kind of had the same teammates, so I just tried to enjoy it, but I really couldn't enjoy it. I really couldn't enjoy it. I really couldn't enjoy that. That was my worst season. That season, it was really dark. I just don't want to go too deep into it, but the the coach that we had that year, oh my days, nah. I'm not gonna even name you one because I don't wanna name it. If you know me, you know the coach we had that year because he had he was like he wasn't that organized tactically. Um, like he wasn't someone who took charge of the team. Like you need a coach to like take charge of the team, have confidence, back yourself as a coach, and also not be too hard on your players. Like you want your players to feel welcomed and like you trust them and they'll trust you. Like it's a mutual respect. And I felt with me personally, I don't know about other players in the team, but with me personally, it's not a grudge. He didn't have a grudge against me because I've never done anything to him. Like this was my first time with him. Um, he just didn't have that confidence in me, and I could smell it off of him. I was like, I tried so hard, like not to please him, but to do well, and I would do well in some games, but I wouldn't get that feedback, or the relationship between the two of us was, um, it was nah. So the confidence is not there. The team is not playing well. Um, everything is just going down the drain, and we almost got relegated. I think we did get relegated that season, or we almost got relegated. No, we almost got relegated because the team got relegated the next season, and I was not there because they barely had anyone to play because of the season that I left. Because most of us left after that season, so that like they organized the team, but then the team got relegated. Yeah, and it was horrible. So I like at that time I was 19, so I was like, let me sort my life out. Forget hockey right now. So I tried to, the check out some of my videos. I've explained what happened while I was on a hockey hiatus, and during the hiatus, I was like, I really can't do this, not having hockey or being fit. Like, I need to get my fitness up. And that time, I wasn't like, I've always been into running, but like just running, I always needed a purpose to run first. So, and hockey was always that reason. So I ran. I wanted to start running a bit, but nah. Then I was like, nah, let me join hockey again. And I was working, so I had the finances to pay for it. So I joined hockey again. I started preparing for it, getting fit, and just getting fit. And I got like, I didn't get to the fitness level that I wanted to get to, but I got much better. I had a good time again. Like, yeah, some people came back after the 2023 season. It was the 2023 season that was people were missing. 2024 all came back. We had a good time. There was a lack of commitment from the team all around, so our results were. And during trials, I started seeing a bit of. I don't know. Find the actual word for this, and please put in the comment. Like in the comment section. Um, I think nepotism is the best word that would describe it, because it wasn't a family thing. It was like a buddy. Like, I know you, you know me. I'm gonna select you for the team because I know you. That type of thing. Like, that's the macro level. The micro level is like how we know our government operates. Yeah, that's another story. Yeah, that's what I started smelling that within the club. And it was the lower levels, it wasn't the higher levels, because if you look at the teams above, it was actually quite good. Like, you could see this is based on merit, like these players are actually good. If you look at the first team, good, like everyone deserves to be here. Second team, good, everyone deserves to be here. The third team, yeah, it was good still. It's the fourth team and the fifth team that I was like, maybe. But they were still a good team. They were still a good team. But I didn't put it up to that. I was like, let me leave it at that. Maybe I'm just coming back and I missed a couple of things. So I was like, let me have some grace with it. Because I don't want to say something, then they were like, you just came back, chill. So I was like, grace. So then I ended that season. I had a back injury during that season, but I came back, did my thing. The next season, I started to get ready for it, and then trials came through, and then what I smiled in the previous season really happened. Like, it really happened, because I'm gonna explain something. So the fifth team came along, everyone got selected, some players dropped from the fourth team, and then I watched the whole thing, just looking at the whole team and just doing our preseason. I could already pick out who the potential captain was, but I didn't want to say anything because I was looking at the team. I was like, commitment. I would look at everyone. I'm like, commitment, um, mindset, like the true hallmarks. I'm not saying I'm perfect, but the true hallmarks of what a leader or team leader, not necessarily the best player on the pitch, but the true leader of a, like the hallmarks of a leader. I didn't have them all, but in terms of qualities combined, I had them the best, and I had the most experience. I've been the longest at the club, so it just made sense for me to be captain. But I didn't say anything, and then the players were like, you. I was like, oh no, because I knew the responsibility that came with, and I took the responsibility. I was a bit bummed out that I had to take it, but also at the same time, I was grateful for the opportunity because they realized that these things within me. So I took it, and I tried to be the best captain that I could be. I genuinely tried in terms of admin, in terms of keeping the team's head like in the game, not losing our heads. I tried to also contribute like skill wise into the team and be a player, like lead the team. And that thing of nepotism and favoritism came like really through that season because there were a few players that were dropped from the team above us. One or two of them they were actually good, and yes, it may have been a personality problem that got them into the team that I was in, but in terms of skill level, I think at that level, not necessarily ignored, but it outweighed, the skill level outweighed where they were. So I genuinely think, as much as we had enjoyed them having them on our team, I think they should have been higher. They should have been they should have stayed in the team that they were dropped from. And then some of the players that came through from the team that were above us, the funny thing is, I was coaching those players during a game on how to play certain positions. So that is one of the things that got me mad during that season because I'm out here coaching people that were selected above me, and then the club created a sixth team, and some of those players got dropped into the sixth team, so they went from the fourth team to the sixth team, and it really got me mad during the season. But I tried to keep it down and just focus on the game. Uh, it really got me mad, and it sucked a lot of energy out of me. And the cost of traveling, I also lost. Yeah, my contract had ended in 2020, halfway through 2024, and I was in 2025 now, so the cost of everything just, yeah, it cost a lot, and I was relying on my mom to pay for transport and all these other things, and I was starting to feel bad for it. And then, yeah, just energy wise, my heart was not in the game anymore. It just really was a difficult time. And then my heart towards hockey, and I've become a Christian at the time. During that season, I've become a Christian, and you can see that in my testimony video. Um, but God really showed me, like, he, like, why are you doing this? Why are you chasing hockey? Why? What is the why? Like, you've probably seen the golden circle, but you have the why in the middle, the how, and the what. And why am I doing it? What is the essence? What is the heart behind this thing? And someone, I told them my hockey story and what hockey was in my life during high school because I really had a tough period during high school. Like it was a tough period in my life, and I really needed hockey during that. Like it's the place where I forgot what outside life is like. I really needed it. And God showed me my heart, like, you want to be all of this. It was an ego thing. Remember the speech that I made earlier on about being the captain and leading the country, and he was highlighting my heart on this is actually an ego thing. And it was hard. It really was hard. And some of the people around me know that leaving hockey, and it was a whole vision. It was a big ordeal, but it was time for me to leave hockey. And I saw a vision, and at that moment, I gave up me, the why, me becoming captain and possibly leading South Africa to all sorts of things, because I had so many goals. There's a book of mine that I write all my goals in, and my life was centered around hockey. And during that time, it was 2025, right? During that time, it was quite hard, but I moved on and I gave up the dream. From there onwards, I just completed the season. I was like, let me enjoy the last bits of hockey that I have. I really tried to enjoy the rest of the season. I did. I enjoyed it and just played to the best of my ability and tried to keep everything together. Then after the season ended, I fell apart and I really didn't know what to do with my life anymore. And it was hard. It was really hard, and it's like I just wanted peace. That was what I wanted, just peace. Then I spoke to a friend of mine early this year. I had visions of a business and all that. I spoke to a friend of mine early this year, and the vision of, because I was, during after November, December till late January, I was preparing for the upcoming season, because I was like, I've given up on the dream, but I can still play hockey, because I spoke to someone and they're like, no, you can still play hockey, it's just that the why needs to go. So I was like, let me still play hockey. I play hockey, but just to enjoy the sport. But then I found myself in the summer practicing, working on hands, like trying to get myself up again. And the heart behind it started creeping up on me. And then I randomly started speaking to a friend of mine early this year about what happened last year. And I was wondering, why am I even speaking about it? Because he wasn't even asking about what happened last year. We were speaking about, I think, unlocking the Bible and something else. And I told him that I almost left church and almost gave up becoming, like, being a Christian because of hockey and what God showed me. I spoke to him about it, and we're just chatting, and he was also speaking about football, and we're speaking about it. And then I spoke to my comm leader, and we were analyzing some other stuff, but then the hockey thing came up, and I was fully giving him everything about hockey and the hockey climate of South Africa and how we don't have a professional system, and the crazy thing about going to the Olympics of players. Our system, our country is messed up. Our national team, the South African hockey first team, the national team, each player had to pay 360K to go and represent the country in the Olympics. Go fact check me on this. I'm very sure it was 360K plus to go to the Olympics to represent the country, which shouldn't be happening. It shouldn't be happening. And here we are. That was also one of the tipping points for me, because what is the point then? What is the point of us trying to we're doing our best? These people are working jobs and then they have to take leave, which means some of them are losing money, or they are also running business, so they're losing money to go represent the country and they're not being paid by the country, which is crazy. So I told him all these things, and he was like, yeah, you must leave, you must stop playing hockey. And it's tough because hockey was the thing. I grew up in Phoenix. It was a middle to low income area, a bit dangerous. There's drugs, there's gangsterism now. It's getting worse. It's quite a dangerous area. Like Uber drivers don't want to go in there at night. But while I was in high school, I already saw that stuff coming up. So hockey was something that was keeping me at school after school, and it kept me together. It really built me, like in terms of sport, fitness, like mentality wise. It really built me, and I really enjoyed playing hockey and what it was. And I'm very grateful for the coaches that I had, Mr. Pringle, uh, Liam Lloyd, who else? There's so many people, Miss Bosman. There's so many people. All my homies, you know yourselves, man. Pick up your damn selves. But now it's time for me to leave, to fully leave, because it's holding me back. And I realized that even within this year, I haven't played. It's May now. The season started about, I think, 2 months ago, like preseason, and the season's just started. But with the energy and the mentality that I had last year, if I was still playing hockey this year again, with everything that I'm currently doing, I wouldn't achieve the things that I am currently achieving and will achieve later this year. So God truly was speaking something on that why. So it is well and truly time for me to leave hockey, because you gotta leave. It's either the game leaves you or you leave the game. So I'm gonna leave the game while I still have the chance. And I want to build something for my family. Like I wanna be a family man, I wanna be not Nick like Jeff Bezos type big money, but I wanna improve what my parents have done for me. I wanna go out there. I've never left the country, so one day I want to leave the country, do something, be all of that. But anyway, other than that, yeah, I'm really grateful for what hockey was in my life, when it was in my life. And yeah, it's time for me to leave. But other than that, people, stay blessed, stay safe, and I'll see you when I see you. Peace.